Hello, welcome to an episode of Decisions where we talk about decisions that you can make based upon any variable things that can happen within CSGO. Today we're going to be talking about smoke grenades. So first off, I want to talk about what really smoke grenades are, what they do, maybe what they don't do. So what they are usually used for is to create an opportunity for the player that uses it to reposition themselves or to create a deterrent for someone else to reposition themselves. Now, it's used as a deterrent because it creates a wall that you obviously can't see through, obscures your vision completely unless you're kind of on the fringes of the smoke, and this allows you really from being able to push through or see the other player reposition themselves. So that's kind of the two terms that are sticking with me as I've been thinking about this, is that smoke grenades are used to create opportunity to reposition and deter other players from repositioning. Something that I don't think they do that a lot of times kind of gets into our heads is that they don't create an impassable wall. You know, a lot of times the smoke gets placed or whatever right there and you just start saying to yourself, there's no way I can go through that. However, if you look in professional play, you know, professional play or just whatever, you see people pushing through smokes and they get kills that are valuable. Even sometimes at the cost of their own lives, they get one or two, they level the field and makes it a lot more balanced game for them or their team. And even getting information, even if they do die, they might know what's on the other side of that smoke, know to re-smoke it, maybe throw a molly flash to deter the other people from being able to reposition. And along those lines of it doesn't create an impassable wall, it doesn't stop you from using any kind of utility to be thrown over it to deter or slow down the person who's used it to try and reposition themselves. So if there's a smoke right here or whatever, you know, I'm just probably going to be going with this smoke right here as a pretty good option. That doesn't stop you from throwing a Molotov over here to keep them from, you know, pushing into sight. Kind of deters them, that slows them down. This doesn't last as long as a smoke grenade, obviously, as you can see. However, it is going to slow them down. And then you can be able to throw a flash or whatever. And that kind of makes... oh, I can't brain right now. Moot the purpose for which they use that smoke grenade, which is to reposition. It kind of slows them, so you're countering that a little bit. Something it doesn't do is it doesn't last forever, so you can wait for it if that's one of your decisions. We can talk about that, but yeah, you can go through it. Doesn't, you know, you hear people in games say all the time, if you die when you're going through a smoke, like, why did you push that smoke? Never push a smoke. That's not true. That's not true at any level of play. You see people doing it at major LAN tournaments all the time. At majors, there's a smoke, they do the right-hand toss of a flash, and they push through it. So it's just a utility, and it's something to create opportunity and to deter other people. So also, I know we're already kind of late into the video, but I wanted to make it clear that this isn't a video about how to use smoke grenades, but decisions that we can make once one's already deployed. Now, once you've been kind of deterred, I'm going to talk from a CT perspective first. So let's pretend that we're playing jungle or either connector, and they do an A smoke strat or whatever, right? So just imagine there's smoke up there, but I'm not going to drop it. They got the smoke right there, right? You're kind of pretty much cut off. It's a good smoke. Oh, well, it's not a good smoke. Let's pretend it was a good smoke. And you can't really see through the fringes, right? You have some options, right? Just some of the very basic things. Do you hold? Do you hold your position? Now, in what circumstances would you decide to hold your position? If you think that they're going to be pushing through it, you don't have any utility to get yourself through the other side of that smoke, there are no open edges on the fringes of that smoke for you to be able to kind of work your way around to get around it. There's a Molotov on the other side or whatever it may be, you may have a decision to hold that smoke. Do you push through it? Do you decide to push through that smoke? Do you take, you know, the smokes come down, you wait a second for their other flashes to come out with your back turned to it or something like that as they're prepping the site for being taken coming through A ramp and through Palace, and then you decide, you know what, it's time for you to go through, turn your back and you push through, right? That's the way to just push through. Or you can obviously do it dry too, you know, especially if the smoke is a bad smoke. You know, get up on the bench, for example, watch Palace, watch Dark. and this gives you an advantage, especially if they mess up the smoke. But if you do it dry, if you have it memorized pretty good what it is and what you need to do to get up onto the bench, you have really good positioning and it could be advantageous to you, even though the purpose of them using that smoke was a deterrent to get you out of that way so that they can reposition themselves. So do you push it? Should you use a different kind of utility to kind of negate the effects of their smoke ring? You know, you have the opportunity to flash. I don't know, I'm going to try doing that through smokes. You know, should you flash? Do you do something like that? Do you want to try and just get a molly over on the side? That's miss for sure. I don't know how to bounce it off there through smoke. But all those things, if you have your position memorized, I don't play here, so I don't know the angle super well like I should. To kind of deter the purpose of that smoke or what that smoke's supposed to accomplish. And that's something else that you can do. Use your utility. I mean, heck, even if you wanted to, using another smoke right there, as soon as you see those smokes coming in through, well then you just, you know, it's kind of a battle. Who's going to push through the smoke first or whatever. Now here's something that also, should you reposition? Say you're in a clutch situation, they're about to plant, they smoked it right here or whatever, you come through CT spawn, you're not there, do you reposition to a different angle, do you try and get up top, or do you just completely reposition all the way around to do something different? That's something that the smoke gives you an opportunity to do. And the last thing on a CT side is, should you spray through it, right? You would have to know for this one pretty good timings about when they're going to come up, come out of palace or through here in order to justify spraying, but you could very well, you know, spray and keep them guessing whether or not you're in a different position or things like that. Something to take into account too is that if there's that smoke grenade down, if you have a non-science weapon and you're spraying through it, they can very easily, and you're just spraying in the dark, you're not sure where it's going, it's non-science, they can spray right through the other side, they can kind of figure out where you are through it. However, if you have a science gun, then, you know, what's it matter? You only got 20 bullets or whatever, but maybe good to spray through it. Just determine on the situation. This is the kind of the decision you have, and that's more from a CT perspective. Now let's say that you're the one who threw this smoke, right? And then you're coming out of pallet or coming out of A ramp or something, and
deploying flashbang.
You take sight. If you have the sight in your held, I would probably not advocate pushing through the smoke if you're able to get a really good clean take and setup. Let's say, you know, you're just feeling it and you want to push through it, then that's something that you can do too as a CT, or as a T. So I think the decision really is holding, repositioning, things like that. So I just wanted to get some discussion on your guys' opinions, maybe some things that I left out, maybe something that you disagree with what I've talked about with smoke grenades and decisions and things that you can do with once it's already placed. Very basic, pretty lengthy video, but just decisions, get some more thought going about more of the basics of Counter-Strike, but in order to get us all playing at a kind of higher level. Appreciate your time and watching the video, and I hope it's useful. Leave comments or reply with a video and see if we can't understand better or get more unique ways to react to smokes. Thanks.